Hello dear students, myself Elmate Archana, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmacognosy, Anand College of Pharmacy, Latur. In part first of this Basics of Pharmacognosy video presentation, we have seen the general introduction, definition, various shapes of barks, also the collection and drying process for these barks from plant. The different shapes of the barks are as the first flat bark. Example for these flat barks are Quilaya and Arjuna. Next, the examples for curved bark, wild cherry bark and cassia bark. In case of recurved bark, the examples are pomegranate and kuruchi. So, the channeled bark examples are cassia, ashoka bark and shinkona bark. Single quill bark, the shape examples are Shinkona and Cascara. Double quill, Frangula, Java cinnamon. And last compound quill, the example is Shinkona bark. So this Shinkona barks, it is found in channeled, also single quill as well as curved pieces. So let's start with this presentation, one example of bark in detail, that is Shinkona bark. The Shinkona bark belongs to the quinoline alkaloids and it is an anti-malarial bark. That is, it is an anti-malarial drug. So, let's start with this drug with its synonyms. The two important synonyms of this drugs are Peruvian bark and Jesuit's bark. These are the most important synonyms on which the question may occur in GPAT examination. So, remember the synonyms are Peruvian bark and Jesuit's bark. The biological source or botanical origin, that is, it is the dried stem and root bark which is obtained from the cultivated trees of. There are four species for the four sources for the Shinkona bark. Shinkona succirubra, Shinkona ledgeriana, Shinkona calisaya and Shinkona officinalis. The Shinkona succirubra, it is a red Shinkona. Shinkona ledgeriana and Shinkona calisaya, these are the yellow Shinkona. And Shinkona officinalis, it is the pale Shinkona. And it belongs to the family Rubiaceae. So, let's start with its morphological characteristic. The stem bark, the shapes of this quill in the form of quill, double quill, chips or curved pieces. Size up to 35 cm long, 1 to 4 cm wide, 2 to 9 mm in thickness. Next, it has a slight and characteristic odor but somewhat astringent and intensely bitter in taste. Next, the outer surface grey or greyish brown to reddish brown and which bears whitish or greyish lichens and mosses. It is rough with corky longitudinal ridges and transverse fissures. Exfoliation may occur. But the inner surface is pale yellowish brown, longitudinally striated fracture, short in the outer part and shortly fibrous in the inner part. The fracture which is short in the outer part and shortly fibrous in the inner part. So let's see the morphology of root bark. It is irregularly curved, channeled, often twisted pieces and 2 to 7 cm long. The lichens and other epiphytes are absent. Remember the difference, note the point. Lichens and other epiphytes are absent in case of root bark. Next, the outer surface is somewhat scaly while the inner surface is striated and is frequently fissured, while the rest of other characters are similar to that of stem bark. The difference is in outer surface and this lichens and other epiphytes. So this is related to the morphology of root bark and stem bark. So let's see its microscopy. In case of microscopy of this Shinkona bark, when we have studied its transverse section, then it shows the cork cells which are thin walled, which is followed by phloem and the cortex. The cortex consists of several secretory channels and phloem fibers, medullary rays with radially arranged cells, and the idioblast of calcium oxalate crystals. And the idioblast of calcium oxalate crystal is the specific characteristic of Shinkona bark. which is a very important point for GPAT in the microscopic characteristic of cinchona bark. Also, the starch grains are present in parenchymatous tissue, whereas the stone cells are rarely present in the structure. The few cork cells are lignified and the medullary rays are 2 to 3 cell wide. But when we studied the powdered microscopy of the cinchona bark, then it is characterized by the fragments of yellowish bright bast fibers, either in entire or in broken pieces. Also, it shows the presence of brown parenchyma occasionally with the idioblast and fragments of reddish brown cork. Few small starch granules, usually simple, rarely compound of 2 to 5 components, and very minute microsphenodal crystals of calcium oxalate. When we see the histological characteristic of bark, then the specific characteristic is the presence of idioblast of calcium oxalate. And also same in the powdered microscopy, there is a microsphenodal crystals of calcium oxalate, which is a very important point for GPAT. Next, these are the pictures of some microscopic study. These are the phloem fibers, crystals of calcium oxalate, cork cells and starch granules. So this is up to the microscopy of cinchona bark. Let's see its chemical constituents. This cinchona bark contain more than 30 alkaloids, and with these alkaloids belongs to the phenolene alkaloid group or quinoline group. The most important alkaloids are quinine, cinchonidine, cinchonine and quinidine and their methoxy derivatives. But be remember that quinine, quinidine, cinchonine and cinchonidine. But along with these names of most important alkaloids, the very important thing that is its percentage. Quinine 20%, cinchonidine 30%, cinchonine 45% and this quinidine is 5%. So along with these names of alkaloids, we have to remember that the percentage for these alkaloids, which is very important for GPAT. Next, tannins, cinchotannic acid and phlobatannins. Most important thing that is the cinchona bark is a alkaloidal drug which contain a glycoside, and name of that glycoside is quinovine. And this quinoline percentage up to 2%, which is yielding on the hydrolysis of quinoic acid and the sugar quinoose. So it also contains calcium oxalate and starch. One difference is that in case of root bark, which is the richest in alkaloidal content as compared to the stem bark, and mean richer than the branch bark. So highest concentration of the percentage of alkaloids is in root bark as compared to the stem bark, and the percentage is greater in stem bark as compared to the branch bark, the bark that is obtained from the branch. So in chemical constituents, one thing that is it contains a glycoside. Name of that glycoside is quinovine. Alkaloidal drug contain glycosides. This is the single bark in which a glycoside chemical constituent is present. Also, this quinine, quinidine, cinchonine and cinchonidine, the alkaloids of lesser importance are quinicin, cinchonicin, hydroquinine and hydrocinchonidine, as well as homocinchonidine. The percentage for this cinchona succirubra, it contains 5 to 7% of total alkaloids and 30% is quinine. So this is related to the chemical constituent. This quinine and quinidine from many salts, but medicinally their sulfates are more significant. Next, its uses. So this quinine, first we have seen the category of quinine, that is it belongs to the anti-malarial drugs. So it is used as an anti-malarial which is suitable for treatment of Plasmodium falciparum infection, that is falciparum malaria. Next, quinine stimulate hair growth, and this quinidine is used for prophylaxis from cardiac arrhythmias and for the treatment of arterial fibrillation. So quinine is an anti-malarial drug and quinidine is an cardiac stimulant. It is used for an arrhythmias Next, chinconin and chinconidine are also used as antirheumatic. Decoction and acid infusion are sometimes used as an astringent gargles due to the presence of tannin. It is also used as bitter tonic and stomachic, and in the treatment of gastroenteritis as well as gallbladder problems and flatulence. So the most important use that is used in the treatment of malaria, and the quinine is the phytoconstituent which is responsible for its anti-malarial action. Next, this compound cinchona tincture is used as an bitter stomachic and antipyretic. This quinine is also a protoplasmic poison and specially used for protozoa like Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium malariae and Plasmodium fatale. So these are the some uses. Out of these, one use that is most important, quinine is an antimalarial, whereas quinidine is an cardiac depressant used to prevent the certain arrhythmias and tachycardia, as well as this quinidine is used in the prevention of atrial fibrillation. So next, the specific chemical test for the identification of this cinchona bark. In this case, first test 0.5 gram of powdered in dry test tube, heat, and purplish red or carmine red fumes evolves, which on condensation purplish red drops, which is soluble in 50% alcohol. That a solution with blue fluorescence, then it indicates that the presence of cinchona alkaloids. This is the general identification test for alkaloids, that is Mayer's test. 0.1 gram of powdered cinchona with 2 ml dilute HCl, filter, and to this add a drop of potassium mercuric iodine solution, that is a Mayer's reagent. Then the precipitate is formed immediately and it shows the presence of quinoline alkaloids. Test for quinine and quinidine, sample solution plus dilute oxygenated acid, that is dilute H2SO4, then it shows the blue fluorescence. And this is the Thalloquine test, which is specific for cinchona drug. 2 to 3 ml of weakly acidic solution of quinine or quinidine salt plus bromine water. It add 0.5 to 1 ml of strong ammonia solution. Then it shows emerald green color and it indicates the presence of quinoline alkaloids. This Thalloquine test is a specific chemical test for the cinchona bark. So this Thalloquine test is very important for the identification of cinchona bark. And this is all related to the cinchona bark. So most of the points which are very important for GPAT, that is from microscopy, the ideoblast of calcium oxide crystals are present, then the difference between stem bark and root bark, then the identification test and the different species of barks. Also the uses, quinine is responsible for its malarial action, whereas quinidine is responsible for its cardiac depressant effect. So these things are kept in mind. Thank you.